It's a bull. Go figure. Hey, good morning. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea for our interesting daily update here. Wow, there is some cool looking snook down there. And snook, we did a video the other day called Predators and what is it? Producers, Predators, and Parasites. And actually, you could see that, I described the different types of, whether a bank was a predator or a parasite or politicians or corporations, you name it. That's going to be my new thing, is identifying, labeling things as predators, things or people or entities as predators, parasites, or producers. And actually, I recommend that most of you start looking around and looking for producers and parasites and predators. Hey, all these fish, which represents most of us out here, we're the schools, man. We are the schools of fish. Some of us are the big happy fish like that. We are the schools out there. We are the producers. We produce food, actually, for things. And for the most part, I'd say most people, income tax paying people and hardworking, especially small business people, are producers. And let's figure them as this small bait fish out here. Now you got your predators down here, and that's not a predator right there, but you got your snook going by, and you can see the big circles open up when the predators come by. However, you can't always see predators. And who are the predators out there? In my opinion, predators are central bankers, some of these corporations that work for the banks or work for government, and even I think government, who I have called at times, mostly I call them parasites. They're becoming more predatory-like. However, let's get into markets right here. And first, let me tell you who I am real quick and explain to you. Buy local, folks. I'm a big proponent. Number one, my name is Brian Kuzmar. I'm a big proponent of buying local and not buying online as much as you can. Keep that money in your town, in your area. I've been a rare coin and precious metal dealer full-time since 1977, and my father's a coin and precious metal dealer who did it before I did as well. And so I'm a second-generation guy. I know my stuff. I'm on the front lines. I do this every day. The one thing, I wholesale and retail precious metals. Again, been doing it. I've been through 3 major markets so far. First one being in the 1980s. The second market I went through was 2012. And I don't know if we consider the rise up to 2000 and 2020 and silver doubling up as a major market, because I think we're just beginning to see that. And the powers to be don't like that. So, as I recommend, buy local, folks, if you can. I do sell and buy precious metals in my store. I advertise to beat APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion. And I recommend that you try to find someone local in your area. They'll do the same. Keep that money local. Plus, you get good advice, and it's a face-to-face business that we're lacking so much today. And as I said, keeping the money in the community is really important. Well, listen, markets today, most of you have already taken a look, and your smiles probably turned into grimaces somewhat. But again, I've been doing this so long, do not worry about this frickin' monkey hammering. Now, interestingly enough, the monkey hammering that we mostly see occurred, again, the trend was Fridays and Sunday nights on monkey hammering. However, I have noticed some differences here, and I'll get to that in a moment. But for you folks that are new to buying precious metals, you haven't been in the business, or you haven't been doing this as long as I have, relax. These provide good buying opportunities. If you got into precious metals for a get-rich-quick dealie, then you should be disappointed. Rightfully so as well. This is about wealth preservation and the potential of making good money. It's not about getting rich quick. And of course, we talk about the big central bankers and the big short positions, and even, we don't just talk about it. We've seen in the news how it really, really happens. These people really exist. These entities really exist that manipulate the markets fraudulently, or maybe in the gray areas of the law, and regulators, government regulators that are completely effing clueless. They have no clue what they're doing. So, that's the kind of world we live in. But as Robert Heinlein says, of course the game is rigged. Don't let that stop you. If you don't play, you can't win. And one of the things that I've been trying to explain to people for such a long time now is that, yeah, the game is rigged, but, I know how this game is rigged, and I know how the game is played. And I won't say I know all the players and who's rigging the game exactly, but we know how it's done. We see it happen. And once you know that, once you know how the game is played, you become a good player yourself. And when you know how the casino tilts the game, you become even a better player. So, and I think really the difference between what I'm talking about is a card game and a card game. Whether you get in the game early or you get out early, no matter how well you play the cards, you can still lose. The big difference here in my comparison between gold and silver is that, folks, if you just put it away, you're not going to lose. So, I mean, as long as you sit in the card game and don't fold your hand, you know, and keep playing, again, you don't lose anything unless you sell. And we are in a long-term bull market for gold and silver. All these low prices do is provide some of us that still have the ammo to you know, to shoot them more, to spend a couple more bucks, to stack up even more. Stay away from the BS. You know, there's the dog and there's the tail. The tail is the paper markets. The dog is the physical markets. Stay away from the tail. At some point, I think the dog is going to chew the tail off, and you don't want to be the tail. So stick with physical. Stay away from those paper assets. They suck. They're rigged, and they're part of the whole rigging process, in my opinion. No less. Like I said, if you don't play, you can't win. So if you want to win, keep buying precious metals. Unless you fold at the wrong time, you're going to be a winner, no matter what you buy and how you buy at these levels or less. Even at the higher levels, you're going to be a winner. One day you're going to wake up and say, my God, gold at 2,000. I wish I had bought as much as I could. I wish I'd mortgaged the house on. No, don't do that. I'm not advising that, but that's the thought process you're going to have someday down the road. And same thing with silver. You're going to say, wow, man, I remember when silver used to be $30 an ounce. See, I remember when it used to be $3 an ounce, and when it would move up to $5, people would feel the same way they do right now. Oh, God, that's it. I better. Listen, folks, long term, and I think even medium term, and I think I could even be safe saying that we're close to being short term, showing real signs in this market. I believe that they're dumping all the ammo they can to knock these prices down. Now, to what purpose? To get people out of precious metals or to fill their positions? Maybe both. I'm not sure. But no less, this is just pure and simple monkey hammering by entities out there that I would call predatory entities. And listen, why do I feel this way since 1977 doing this full time? You know, why do I feel so confident? I don't really worry about it. You know, the day-to-day stuff pisses me off a little bit, like it does some of you seasoned guys out there that have been buying and selling metals and know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, the day-to-day stuff can piss you off. You get a little grumpy or stuff, but, you know, you don't worry about it. You say, hey, listen, we know where this is going. And one of the reasons I know where gold is going, because what do central banks own? What are the richest people that run the world, run governments? Central bankers run the world. They run governments. I mean, they're they're Oz, you know, the man behind the curtain. That's the man behind the curtain, not the governments, is central banks. What do central banks own? They own gold. They don't stuff their vaults with paper. They don't stuff their vaults with Bitcoin. They don't stuff their vaults with whatever. They stuff their vaults with gold. All right, and I know I'm not discussing silver because they don't put silver in their vaults that I'm aware of, but no less, gold and silver go hand in hand. When gold starts going up, silver is going to follow at some point too. Then the beauty of silver is not only silver will go up and people are investing in it and buying bars, and the more bars and the more physical you take off the market, the harder the stuff is to get. And not only does the price of price of gold will drive up the price of silver. Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, let me get a sip of coffee here. My apologies. But central banks, they own gold. They don't own any of the other stuff that they're trying to push you and I into. They don't, you know what I mean? They're trying to push us into mortgages, where they can make their 6%, 3%, whatever the heck it is. They're trying to push us into loans, to borrow money from them, to sink money into Wall Street or sink money into stuff we don't need. That's how they make their money. They make money by getting countries to spend endlessly and needlessly. They don't care. The more a country spends, the more rich they get. And again, what do they put back in their vaults? From the United States central banks to the European Union central banks to Russian, they put gold. Chinese, everyone puts gold. All the Chinese central bankers, all of them, they put gold in their vaults, folks. That should tell you something. And that should also tell you in 5,000 years, gold has never gone to zero, nor will it ever. In fact, in times of tough times, and the same thing with silver, folks. In tough times, in times of economic uncertainty, and in times, especially in a fiat currency, when the value of money keeps falling and falling and falling, it's the best place to be, man. It's a good place to be. And again, I'm not an advisor, investment advisor, but I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you in my experience, just relax, just buy the dips when you can, and just hold on. You don't lose anything ever in precious metals until you sell. And if you wait a little bit, and sometimes a little bit longer than you thought, you will do well with it. Always, always. Let's move along to silver as well. One of the reasons that I think silver is going to first off, gold will bring up the price of silver. So central bankers at some point in all these entities that have been shorting gold and keeping the gold market down, they're going to want the price of gold to rise because it benefits them as well. And when that happens, it'll bring up the price of silver. But meanwhile, silver is probably a better investment than gold right now. Gold, again, good place to store wealth. Silver, I think, is a good place to store wealth. But I think silver, we've already seen gold hit its high, 3 times already, I believe, 80s, 2012, and again recently. Silver has only hit its all-time high twice, which would have been 1980s, and again would have been 2012, that $50 an ounce mark, and has not seen the same mark. Last year, we saw it go from 12, 15 bucks an ounce, or 15 to 17 to 30 almost an ounce, and now it's backed off into this mid-20s, and again low 20s at the moment, but that's only temporary, folks. It won't stay here long. Again, unless we see a complete economic collapse out there, you're not going to see precious metals below these marks. And I talked about that in time when we see a 2008 crisis going on. You're going to see metals get slammed. However, it just occurred to me, this thought right now is that China's going through a Lehman moment right now, and maybe that's why we're seeing prices on gold and silver down, is because people are having to sell their position. Tough to say what is the cause of today's down prices, whether it's monkey hammering by central banks, or maybe it is the Lehman moment in China that's people are having to sell their gold positions to cover their short positions, or whatever they have, or whatever they had involved with that Evergrande deal. Again, just a quick speculation on my part that just popped in my brain. But no less, above ground silver supplies. This chart was done in 2013. Take a look at this. Above ground silver supply in billions. Look at that right there, silver compared to gold. Like in 1950, look how much silver was around compared to gold. Look at that. That's 2013, and I suspect that, again, I've been saying that silver is, in my opinion, a strategic metal, even though it's not listed as a strategic metal. I think the physical supplies out there, above ground physical supplies, have gotten so low that it could cause a real issue economically, all different types of things, maybe even in the defense industry. So much silver is used in electronics. Electronics are so needed today, and so silver has a couple reasons why I think it's going to go up dramatically, and I think the primary reason is not that gold's going to drag it up. I think we're going to see just the physical availability of silver. It's just going to dry up completely. This is going to cause large-scale panic in industry, in the industries that use silver, and they're going to go out and buy it at whatever price they can, and they're not going to buy the bullshit, non-existent ETFs out there that or paper instruments that claim they own, silver. They're going to go after the real stuff, because you can't take a ETF and put it into a television set or a phone. They have to have the real stuff for it, and I think there's serious issues out there with silver. My only concern is that government parasites and predators get involved and maybe deem silver as a strategic metal and they stop trading on it or something like that because it's needed in the that would be true somewhat, but I could see that governments could come in and limit the trading in silver, or try to do it surreptitiously somehow. Again, because it's used in such a huge amount of electronics. Think about that. I think their only alternative is to go to a lead-based solder, and I don't believe in a green world we're ever going to do that. Anyways, that's my opinion on gold and silver. I think silver's a great deal at this point. Silver's only seen its highs twice, gold 3 times. I think we're going to see silver go from this mid-20s level up to the $50 level, and who knows where it goes from there. Can't pick a time frame on it, but I know it's going to happen. And that's based on my doing this since 1977. That's my gut feeling, and my educated feeling as well, my educated opinion. Let's take a look. I didn't refresh this for a few minutes because, it just kept going down and down and down. And she seems to have settled out at 1751 in gold right now. It kind of makes sense. Overnight market, about a $50 range, or $42 it says here. 1746.57 to 1796. Currently sitting around 1751, just a tad bit higher than the low from the overnight markets. That's a big drop from yesterday. Look at yesterday's market. Whoop, hold on, this is the open in gold today. Sorry about that. They already changed it. 22.69. Here's the real news. It's silver, man. But however, this provides a great opportunity again. Buy the friggin' dips, folks. If you don't have the money to buy the dips, you're already bought in, don't even worry about it then. Just figure this is another day. You don't lose ever in precious metals unless you time it wrong and you sell into a dip market or a down market, especially in the bull market that we're in both markets. It doesn't look, a lot of people that have gotten rich quick or that get rich quick mentality, they don't see a vertical line on a graph going up in a short period of time. They're quickly out of there. They lose interest. And again, those are the people that will never make money and never preserve their wealth. They jump from thing to thing. But as long as you're holding on and you're a buy and hold on precious metals, you're going to do extremely well. You're going to, at the very least, preserve your wealth. And I believe at some point when we get into bubble territory, you're going to make a lot of money off this stuff. Again, patience is the key word here. 936.80 platinum, 932 to 958 is the range, down $12. It's funny too. I saw platinum down a couple days ago. Remember I was saying that it was except for the other day when it went up for a day or two. Platinum was in the red just a tiny bit, and I was like, okay, maybe that. But oddly enough, platinum was down the last couple of days, this last week actually, and metals are down with it. Look at palladium though, back up $22. I'm not quite sure what's going on with palladium. Don't really care. We don't sell much of it, and I don't think a lot of you own any of it at all, actually. Well, let's move out of these markets here. And good article I'd recommend. I got a subscription to Seeking Alpha. I think it's great. I would recommend anyone to get a subscription to Seeking Alpha. But however, some of these gold and precious metal updates and news you can read for free. Keith Weiner, wrote this. I'm a founder of the Gold Standard Institute USA in Phoenix, and he's a CEO of a precious metal. Well, he did a pretty good article. I like it. Summary. The gold co-basis scarcity has been remarkable stable since early February, around the 0.5% technical aspect. I'm going to kind of stay away from that stuff. You guys can read that. For you tech heads and graph guys, you can read that stuff and study more into it. Let me close that. Whatever the reason, buying or selling has been evenly matched in futures and the spot gold price. This is why big price moves cause barely a ripple in the co-basis. The price swings in silver, though, are much bigger. So the little ripples in the gold co-basis are amplified in the peaks and valley in the silver co-basis. This time we start with the gold to silver ratio. Let's revisit something we said on August 23rd. And funny enough, I just did a video about this the other day. The supply and demand fundamentals of silver are stronger here than they have ever been since the C19 crisis. And down here, quote, physical silver is scarcer than gold. This is absolutely true, folks, and I got a sneaking suspicion that this is why we're seeing silver prices get monkey hammered. I think that the powers to be out there now, don't ask me to define specifically who that might be. Is it central bankers? Is it governments? Is it a combination of both of them combined with some big corporate entities that make a lot of money doing it for them? Are they purposely wanting to keep people out of silver? So again, if the above ground supplies are real scarce, I mean, the rise in the price of silver has a lot to do with electronics, and if electronics go up substantially, they're having a problem with chips in cars right now. Can you imagine if across the industry silver was hard to get, and now all of a sudden it wasn't just cars, it was everything, from household stuff to military hardware would go down or would have a difficulty. I think there's something really deep going on with silver. I think that the stockpiles of above ground silver are extremely thin, and I believe that the entities to be, the powers to be, whomever the combination or single individual entity might be, not individual, are doing everything in their power to get people to capitulate out of silver. This is my gut feeling now. This is what I get a feeling as a macro picture, stepping outside and looking the directions of everything is headed. The trail looks like they're trying to force people out of silver. They're trying to force people to capitulate the physical and trying to force people to stop buying physical. Man, all the signs point to this, folks. And I know it might be somewhat conspiratorial, but I really believe this, that they're trying to push people out of silver. purposely, and they're doing everything they can to do it. They're pulling out all the stops. They're getting all the ammo. I think they're down to their last clip, if you ask me, or their last magazine, whatever you call it, a magazine. All right. So anyways, God, I kind of digressed from this guy's article. This corresponds to the peak where we have drawn. Okay, this gets into graph stuff. And let me see, was there something else here? Here we go. A recipe for rising gold and silver prices. There is a pattern we see in both metals. Price weakness tends to be driven by futures speculations liquidating positions. I can't see any people liquidating positions right now in this market unless they're just stupid, but that's possible. This means that the metal becomes scarcer. It stops going into the warehouse. Carry trades, where market makers borrow dollars, blah, 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 to sell a futures contract against it and pocket the spread. Instead, it begins to coming out if it gets scarce enough. In other words, the marginal source of demand has been the warehouse, but this becomes a marginal supply, a recipe for rising price, especially if buying outlasts the warehouse supply. I think that's where we're at right now, folks, and I think he's on to something right here. I think the buying is getting to the point where the warehouse supply and the people that control that are looking at it and saying, hey, this is not good. If this continues, we're going to be short, and where are we going to get this stuff from without raising the price up substantially? And remember, there is a push by governments. China is open about it. The United States is not open about it, near as Europe, about keeping keeping the rising prices, keeping the CPI down, and keeping inflation down. And how do they do that? Well, they keep the cost of the goods to build products down. And silver is one of those products. But I just think we're in the near game. They're in the end game here, as long as people keep buying physical. NB, we do not refer to the COMEX vault numbers either as registered. Okay, that's kind of more technical. And let's kind of move into some, he talks about the gold chart here. Let me look. Silver price fundamentals, silver basis analysis. Silver, on the other hand, isn't moving in the quite same way as gold. The price swings in silver are much bigger, so the little ripples in the gold co-basis are amplified in peaks and valleys in the silver co-basis. A little technical here, folks, but is this silver squeeze over? Incidentally, Wall Street silver began their campaign to squeeze silver sometime in January. The price of the dollar in silver terms moved up, then down, and then up, and so on. However, the scarcity of silver rose during the most active point of their campaign, with some jitter, from the start of the year through the end of February. That move in the basis is not correlated with any move in price. It is a period of gently growing scarcity. After that move was over, presumably the silver traders on the Reddit channel bought as much as they cared to buy. The co-basis moves with the price. Notably, its level remained elevated, as those who bought silver eagles and small bars probably did not sell the metal back to the market. Again, what I've been talking about, I'm on the front lines. I do this every day for a living since 1977, just about. I buy and sell wholesale, retail, over the counter. I can tell you, folks, since 2016, 2017, there has not been much capitulation in silver. Very few people. I've sold millions and millions and millions of dollars. I don't even know. I don't even count of silver in my lifetime. And of recent, in the last, again, since 2016, I've seen nothing but buyers. Very small sellers. And the big whales that I have sold gold and silver to throughout my lifetime, I haven't seen any of them capitulate. They're still holding on to this stuff. So, buy and hold. Buy and hold. Don't let them scare you out of this market. There's a reason they're trying to, and I think I explained it to you. Well, let me go up here. He was talking about Reddit. I got into Reddit the other day, the Reddit Wall Street Silver campaign. And actually, I went and looked again today, and one of the commenters mentioned that I had spoken or quoted the wrong amount of subscribers. Yes, I did. It's been a while since I looked, 5 or 6 months, and I went and looked. And I think last time I looked at the Silver Squeeze Reddit group, which is a much smaller group. I went to look at the Wall Street Silver group, and yeah, they're over 100,000. But again, I'm going to get into that in a minute. I'll talk about the Wall Street Reddit group, who I got a lot of admiration for. Buying silver, crazy, but this is. Surely they will give up on the idea of squeezing silver and realize a monetary metal does not work like a heavily shorted stock. Now, he's talking about the Reddit people. Or probably they may have realized that already. But on the other hand, they also probably realize that zero interest rate policies have made all other asset classes expensive, not to mention subject to increasing credit risk. And he brings up a great point. I believe that the Wall Street Silver Group, Wall Street Silver, I've talked about it many, many times, is that a lot of folks got into silver. Not a lot, but a certain percentage of folks got into silver under that get-rich-quick idea. Silver's the next GameStop. Silver's the next AMC or whatever. I'm going to jump into that and make noise. It's not. It wasn't. I said it at the time when the Wall Street group kind of came into existence. It doesn't work like stocks at all. It's a totally different market. It's not a get-rich thing. There's large entities out there that keep the prices down temporarily, but they can only do it so long, like I said. Of course, the game is rigged, but if you don't play, you can't win, folks. But no less... here, let me read the rest of this. But on the other hand, they also probably realize that zero interest rate policies made all other asset classes expensive. So I think the people right now that are still in the Reddit Wall Street group are hardcore people that understand what silver is all about, and they understand the implications of central banks pushing the price of gold down using entities like Goldman and JP and all those guys. But no less, where was I going to go with that? Sorry, to try to prop up their mad fiscal schemes. But meanwhile, again, just don't worry about it. Good article done by Mr. Weiner here. My apology. I wasn't sure if I pronounced his name right, but Keith Weiner, and it's in Seeking Alpha. A couple of other good articles in Seeking Alpha. So if you have a subscription, even if you don't, I think you can read these articles for free. Good stuff in here. I've been using it more and more often. Let's move over to ZH. Not much to talk about. Some funny stuff here, but no less. And God, they deplatformed the lady too. From what I heard, they yanked her Twitter account or something, or prevented her from posting. Folks, we are not. Anybody that calls the current administration and these people liberal, they're the farthest thing from liberal. Especially these media companies too that claim to be liberals and the voice of liberals. They are anything but. They're authoritarians. No liberal, and I'm a classical liberal. I guess that's what you would call me, a classical. I'm fiscally conservative, socially liberal. I'm a classical liberal, and no liberal, and I include myself in the world. Would condone censorship on any form. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's media, social media, whether it's whatever. No liberal would condone censorship on any level. The truth speaks for itself. People are usually able to spot lies. When you see people censoring things, it's a bad deal. It means they don't want what you're saying to be heard, even from a lady like this. Again, just my opinion. I digress a little bit from the situation. So producers and parasites and predators. Let me say, I'd say she's a producer. There's two parasites right there, in my opinion. Predatory parasites. I guess you can call them predatory parasites now. Used to be politicians, in my opinion, were parasites. Now they become somewhat predatory as well. It's in your face, And not too much on gold and silver in here. Let's see if there's anything. A review of rules after blah, blah, blah. Gold is getting monkey hammers, dollar and bonds yields. This one, Mustard, just came out. Let's do a quick click on that. That's probably a Tyler Durden article here. Yep, it is. This morning's better than expected. Here's a supposed reason. Better than expected retail sales data and worse than expected labor market data has sparked some significant moves away from stocks, which doesn't make sense. Why would metals be down on this? Good retail sales, bonds are spiking, dollar spikes. There you go. Spike in the U.S. dollar, supposedly. So, and let me tell you, folks, a spike in the U.S. dollar, even though that may be used as a reason or excuse, or you may hear corporate financial media say, oh, that's why gold is down today. Bullshit. That was the excuse probably used by the people that monkey hammer gold down and silver down. That was the excuse they used to monkey and hammer down. Hey, it looks like the dollar's got strength today. Let's go out and spoof these markets this morning, or short these markets, whatever the hell they're doing to knock these things down. But no less, not going to work in their favor. People are smart enough to know to keep stacking. And, oh gosh, all right, I'm going to move out of there. Because it's going to be a long one if I don't. That's pretty crazy. Look at that. Kathy Wood has sold $266 million despite her $3,000 price target. I guess she doesn't have much faith in Tesla anymore, even though she's jawboning it. A lot of these people jawbone it. They're in it just to get your money, folks. And good. I hope this never gets passed right here. There's another parasite, in my opinion. Listen, I don't differentiate between the red or blues. To me, they're both parasitic in their own ways. And again, not much here to talk about on precious metals other than that. Best thing I can tell you, folks, buy the, oh, look, Evergrande suspends trading in all bonds. Hey, maybe, again, China's Lehman moment, which caused gold and silver prices to drop substantially, is happening over there, and they're doing the same thing. Maybe precious metal prices are dropping over there to cover the shorts because of Evergrande and other markets they're probably hemorrhaging. We'll find out tomorrow more about this. Again, great opportunity to buy these dips, folks. Not too much to talk about in AI, the AIER, American Institute for Economic Research. Again, one of my other sites I'd like to look at. We talked about trouble transacting with Bitcoin yesterday. And most of this stuff is kind of political, and we really don't have the time to discuss most of this. Reinventing liberalism is alternately fascinating and frustrating. At the end of the day, however, and said, I don't know who that is. All right. All right, sorry about that. Remember, I don't script these shows, and it's pretty damn obvious, isn't it? Wall Street Silver. Sorry about that. Wall Street Silver. Again, I mentioned them the other day. I love this. I love this Reddit group. I think it's great. It's been good for business. It's been good for precious metal markets. I think at first the thought Wall Street Silver, a lot of people thought that they were going to jump into Wall Street Silver and buy a bunch of physical silver, and the markets were going to double and triple. Again, I think there's some carryover from the Reddit group. What was it? Wall Street Bets, with AMC and GameStop. I think there's some carryover when the silver started. They go, oh, here's another new thing we can do to get rich quick. And then when the guys discovered that it wasn't a get rich quick scheme, kind of like what Wall Street Bets and AMC and GameStop was, they got out, and a lot of them are probably bad-mouthing markets, or some of them, silver sucks, silver sucks. Well, that's because you got in it for the wrong reason. But I think a lot of the people that are still with Wall Street Silver and still posting out there, I love the enthusiasm. I like to see the younger folks doing this. I had mentioned before, the only thing that kind of freaks me out is I don't like to see guys advertise their stacks, especially their safe, the type of safe they got, the type of weapons they have, what they have in there. Folks, I hate to say it, that's a good recipe to getting robbed or waking up in the middle of the night in your bed and having a gun put to your head. I've been in this industry a long time. I've seen it happen to other dealers. When I was, first time was when I was a kid. My father had a dealer friend of his. Woke up in the middle of the night, two guys standing in the bedroom. One held a gun to his wife's head, woke him up out of his sleep. One held a gun to his head, made him go down the store, open up the, of course, I've got plans against that now myself, so that won't happen to me. So some of you folks out there, just don't put your stacks and your money out for the whole public to see. Again, unless you're completely anonymous and there's no way anyone can find out who you are or know who you are. This is dangerous. I'm sorry. It's cool to see. Love the enthusiasm, but dangerous. And as I said the other day, I made a comment about Wall Street bets. I just didn't think when Wall Street Silver came in, that they would have enough oomph and enough firepower to move the market substantially. I knew that, and it didn't happen. However, the beauty of the whole group is the enthusiasm and the fact that the people that stayed with this group are now becoming very educated in metals. They're also becoming very educated on how this market is played and how this game is manipulated and who the players are that are manipulating, who's manipulating it. And to me, that's even more powerful than if there had been enough money to buy up every piece of silver, because education is the first part in creating a great market and long-term strength, and that's what we got going on with Wall Street Bets. Education. Education will create long-term strength in this market, and will create better buyers and more educated buyers. I don't think the buyers in silver have ever been more educated in my entire career. They weren't in 1980s. They weren't in 2012 when that market hit. They weren't of recent, 2020. This Reddit group really has brought education to a large group of people. There's over 100,000 members there, and I'm sure they talk to other people. So I got to give them great credit for that, without a doubt. And I'm going to come back here and start posting more and reading some more things and getting more involved with this Reddit, Wall Street Silver group here. Thanks for pointing that out, whoever did that the other day. Well, let's go over yesterday's video. Silver is more rare than gold. I don't need to explain that title. If you didn't see it, yeah, take a look at it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for me too, folks. That's helpful as well. And let's see kind of what comments we have down here. Let me go to newest first. Okay, and of course when I go to newest first, I always go to the oldest one. I'd like to thank all you folks from watching. Joey, G, Ann. More, yeah, we misspelled that yesterday. I think we discovered that. Thanks. Tree Climber. How will EB mandates affect the platinum and palladium price? Oh, hang on. Losing my battery strength here. 1 second here. Let me plug in my mouse pad. There we go. Much better. How will EB mandates affect platinum and palladium prices in the long run? I don't know. I don't understand the palladium market that well, and I don't know how much platinum is used in EBs. I know a lot of silver is, but I don't know how much platinum and palladium is. I can't answer that question, Tree Climber. If you do a little research, make sure you post it in comments on this video today. Thanks. Yep, GameStop it was, Eric. Appreciate that. And John Cook says platinum probably go down because car manufacturing. Yeah, I suspect that. I saw platinum go down, but palladium, palladium's down about $500 from its high. It was actually $3,000 last year or something like that, close to it, wasn't it? Or in the mid twos. Now it's down in the lower twos. So yeah, I think that's probably dead on correct, John. That the reduction in the new car market has caused prices to go down in platinum and palladium, mostly palladium, I think. I think platinum's just down because of just sheer lack of interest. I really do. Gold doesn't seem to having the interest that it really should have out there. Now think about platinum. Hardly anybody buys it. I mean, we sell very little platinum, so I just think it lacks interest. Whereas palladium might have something to do with the car market. In your opinion, what's a good amount of gold to have through whatever we're about to go through? I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a financial advisor. I wouldn't even pretend to be one. I'm an expert at what I do, buy and sell precious metals, physical. But as far as how much you have, I remember in the 1980s when I first started out in this market, and that was our first major bull market. I met financial advisors that were starting to put their clients into physical gold. You don't really see it happening nowadays, but hey, I have a client that has this much money. We want to buy physical gold. What's it? And at the time, I think I had a couple of them tell me, and I believe I've also read that they recommend at all times, at the time, financial advisors recommended at all times that you keep a minimum of 10% to 15% of your wealth, your total wealth, into a hard asset like gold and silver. And I think they primarily advised gold at the time. And they felt if you felt really bullish, you could go 20%. That is 1980s. Take from that what you will. Again, I don't really know, to be honest with you, Mr. Tard. Thanks for watching. Carl says if you're going to talk about something, you should at least look into it. Wall Street Silver has on it. Yeah, oh, you're the guy. That's it. Their motto is buy physical and hold forever. They have a bill, hold forever. Well, I wouldn't hold forever, but they have a billboard sign all the states are doing more than you know for silver. I don't think they're doing more than I know for silver, but thanks for pointing that out. I was wrong about the membership for sure. I think I pretty much explained what I think Wall Street Silver is doing out there, and the benefits that they have provided, and the benefits they are continuing to provide to the silver community as a whole. Thanks for watching, Carl. Appreciate it. Rob Clay says, "When do you get to see your face?" I don't know. I don't think you want to see my face. Oh, not in a monster way, too. Thanks for that. I don't think you want to see my face. But anyways, I'm glad you enjoyed that underwater cam, too. And not necessarily, Justin. That is not the only way we're going to find out the value of silver. A dollar will never die. It'll just reinvent itself in a different manner. I'm thinking they're going to reinvent it into a cashless society, digital. That's where I think we're going. And you'll look back and you'll say, God, I wish I had a dollar bill instead of a digital credit. And there's many reasons why you don't want to go to a cashless society. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. You have no more anonymity anymore in a cashless society, and they can take your money away anytime they want in a cashless society. Claudio Mark says the mines did slow down, but they use a high-grade ore to compensate for the brief impact. Yep, that's true. They did slow down, but not as much as I thought they did. Thanks for commenting. Oh, Justin, one other thing is, like I said, the dollar's not going to die. Oh, gosh, I forgot what. Going a little too fast in my brain right here. If I remember what I was just going to go back and tell you, I'll let you know in a second. Jersey Rider, always a dip to buy first thing in the AM when New York opens. Lately there has been, but really, the dip was occurring in the morning before New York opened, but it seems like monkey hammering is extending into New York as well. I think that the manipulators out there that are manipulating gold and silver prices down, spoofing or whatever the hell they do, shorting the market, whatever fraudulent activity I think that they're doing, they're not going to do the big hits. I think that the last big hit they did, that major monkey hammering we had on Sunday night, where gold was down like $80 to $100 like a month ago, when they really nailed it. I think that they exposed themselves so thoroughly there that they're not going to be able to do another Friday or Sunday night hit for a while. But then again, they're getting so in our faces. I'm starting to believe they don't even care about hiding it anymore. So that may not necessarily be true. But the monkey hammer is in the mornings and is extending into New York of late. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And you too, Angel Soul. I appreciate that. Pal and Tier. Okay, I'll remember that for about 5 minutes. That's my short-term memory. Pal and Tier. Okay, I'll try it. Thanks, Mr. Cowboy. And Creefell Silver made 30 million. Boy, that's nice. I saw the screenshot on Reddit. They're doing well in AMC. Yep. Well, again, different market. Thanks for watching, guy. Chad says, as a PM dealer, precious metal, what's your opinion on silver shot as a low premium option to buy regular bullion? Would you buy it from a customer? No, I wouldn't. Silver shot. There's too many other products that you can buy that are probably a better deal. I mean, if you could buy silver shot for spot price, maybe 50 cents over or something, $1 over maximum. But remember, when you go to sell, it's going to get discounted. And make sure you keep it in the original packaging that verifies it's 999. Okay, if you're going to do it. But nah, I'd kind of say stick with 100-ounce bars. You can buy them for spot plus 3 or less. That's a better deal. And then there are some other deals out there, but don't pay more than $4 an ounce. Thanks for watching, Chad. Silver is present, and I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna have to look now. What the heck is that? Lulamans. All right. All right. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your interesting comment that I don't know what it means. Thanks, Guy. Appreciate it. And thank you, Dez. I don't believe there are 20. Yeah, I agree there. No comment. Mark Moss. Okay, another YouTuber. Thank you, sir. And thanks for watching, Tree Climber. GameStop. Yep. Thanks, Daryl. And Mark Hall says, bang on with the JP gang. Yep, JP, too big to fail, too big to jail. Those guys should be in jail. All these manipulators should be in jail. All these people. The people from the 2008 financial crisis that caused that should be in jail. But like I said, too big to fail and too big to jail. So they won't jail these people. They'll give them a reward, and they'll give them an award probably for doing it. That's the kind of scum that you got working there. Mark says 10 pounds or extra. Oh, okay. I mentioned photo yesterday. It said photography, but I didn't realize it probably meant to X-rays, and maybe it went photoelectric stuff or whatever for solar power. But anyways, thanks for reminding me of that. Platinum was down, so was gold. Is it down? What's gold today? Your leading indicator says it should be down. You spoke too soon because it did. Thanks, D-Man. Appreciate it. I don't know if it's a leading indicator. It's just a little trend that I've noticed that when platinum's been down, it's kind of gold has gone and silver's gone down a day or two after it, and seems like it happened again. Heart of Aries. If silver has a high demand for industrial use, it wouldn't be one of the reasons of the month. Yes. This is what I just talked about. Again, I think that there's some fear out there that we're going to run out of silver for industrial uses. I really believe that's a sincere fear. I think part of the monkey hammering is the people that are fearing that are doing that. Again, speculation, conspiracy on my part. Heart of Texas, inflation is killing everyone. That is absolutely true. I believe that. I think that they're going to try to bankrupt everybody. It's just, well, I'm not going to go into politics, thanks. And let's see here. Celeste, thanks for telling us about that. Oh, the Demonocracy site's great, Celeste. Enjoy it. They got a bunch of other cool stuff on there as well. 100 or bust, for what it's worth, a chart hugger. The lows are in. I like hearing from you, chart huggers. Thank you very much. You guys know more than I do about charts, I'm sure. I'm not a chartist at all, never have been. Kind of just started looking into it and reading about more a little bit and learning a little bit. I might know enough to be dangerous, but I'm not going to consider myself expert. Let's see what 100 or bust has to say about charts. As a chart hugger, the lows are in. Silver is days away from a big pop to 26 before settling back down, and then another pop to 27. And one more sideways to down correction before a major breakout to the upside. Well, from your lips to the silver god's ears, sir. I hope that is absolutely correct. And hey, thanks for that valuable input there and comment. Thanks, Mr. Hundred or Bust. Lucas says you mentioned that if not already at some point, there may be the same amount of silver as gold. So could you please explain silver will not be back to the 130, and will not be back to in proportion to gold as usually much. Explain silver will not be back to. I'm really not quite sure. I just know that there just seems to be a lack of above ground silver out there. A couple charts suggest that. A lot of people suggest that. And the uses of silver, if you look at the demonocracy chart that I gave yesterday, or that little visual charts, or whatever they call it, that I did yesterday, you'll see that we've thrown away a lot of silver. A lot of it's in landfills, and it won't probably be recovered in our lifetime. So there is definitely a shortage. I couldn't tell you how much, though, Luke. I wish I could. Hey, if you do a little research, though, like a Hundred or Bust did down here, put it in the comments, and I'll take a look at it yesterday. Thanks for watching, Luke. I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't answer your question. Big Water says photovoltaics has nothing to do with photography. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused because I can't remember. I think that graph yesterday did say photography, not photovoltaics. I don't know if I can pronounce that right. So thanks for that comment, Big Water. But again, I think it said in that graph photography, but maybe you're referring to something else. And that's absolutely true what you said. Thanks for making that comment, sir. Ned Porcus says, if I had to guess who's still doing silver photography, I would say it's probably medical uses. And yep, I would say too that's probably true, and it's probably X-rays and that kind of thing that are being used. And then photoelectric stuff is probably for solar power. Again, not 100% sure. Thanks, NGC Coins. Appreciate that. And I think that's really about it for today's video. Well, it is that. Let's close it up with saying this is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. If you live in my area in South Florida down here, call me anytime between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays for the best deal. I got some good deals on silver and gold right now. Again, I'll beat APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion, the 3 big online sellers, and I'll definitely beat the local guys. So, hey, thanks for watching. Come on in anytime and give me a call when you get a chance. And if you don't live in my area and you got questions to ask, please put them in the comments. I'm pretty good at answering this stuff. Hey, thanks again for watching. Have yourself a great day. Talk soon.